Hello action figure fans, this is HammerTron here with a new action figure playset review for you. This time I am reviewing the Animal Planet Deep Sea Shark Rescue Submarine set. This seems to be available only through Target. I bought it a couple years ago. This was released in 2022 and it comes in a very large box. It just barely fits into my filming space here. So it's a very large open box where we can reach in there and touch all of the items in here. We can touch the submarine, the shark cage, the shark, some other fish, and another person here, one person here, and should be another person here. There we go. So looks like I have everything in the set. The problem with these open packaging is that it allows just anybody to reach in there and touch whatever they want to touch. But it also allows us to check it out to make sure it's very cool. And this thing is electronic. It has 3 buttons on the top and they have different sounds. That's the first one. Here's the second one. And the third one. Now this is a submarine set, but with the electronics where we can push the buttons on the outside. I don't think we can play with this in the water. I think that would just destroy the electronics in it. So I'll show the other sides of the box and then I'll open this up. Here is the top of the box. Here is the bottom of the box with the manufacturing information showing Blip toys made in 2022. Here is one side of the box. Here is the other side of the box. Here is the back of the very large box here. It certainly looks like an exciting set with the submarine and the shark and the shark cage. So it certainly looks cool. So we'll open this up and review it in just a moment. Here are the accessories that come with this playset. We have some extra pieces that we can use to put together a display scene. Looks like we have a hat and a little surfboard, maybe part of a diving outfit here, pair of binoculars, maybe a camera. I'm not sure what these are, but normally these don't really fit the character's hands. They're not very useful, so I haven't bothered taking these off of this sprue yet. But it looks like they'd be nice for setting up a little display or a diorama. And here we have a diving shark cage. I think it's the same kind that we had before. Very simple plastic piece. It snaps together. And the hinge is just well, not really a hinge, just some plastic that bends, so eventually this thing might just fall apart. So this other side also opens up and we can put the figures in there. It will kind of fit. So this will protect the figure from the shark. So looks like a pretty neat little thing here. Here are the 2 action figures we get with this set here. We have a man that is a diver and the woman in a diving suit, but she doesn't have the diving equipment, so she pilots the submarine. So looks like the man is about 4.5 inches tall with his diving equipment. Getting him up to 4.5 inches, so that's about 11 centimeters tall. The woman is just a little bit less than 4 inches tall, or just a little less than 10 centimeters tall. So it looks like the man is a bit bigger, as he should be. And let's take a look at the man here. So he has some diving equipment, just something that is attached to the action figure. Simple plastic, a little plastic vest here with the oxygen tank. And extra flippers that are attached to the feet here. So just like before, except in a different color. So he's just attached to the feet. And a little bit of painted detail in the arms, but no other real painting there. And with the articulation, we can turn his head even with this mask on. We can turn his head just a little bit. The arms go all the way around. At his hips, you can kick forward that far, kick back a little bit, kick forward this far, kick back just a little bit. Single jointed knees, go that far. And ankles, so it looks like he's swimming, so they go this far forward. So it looks alright. However, I think there's just maybe a little flaw or defect in the manufacturing process. If we look at the ankle piece here, it doesn't quite fit correctly. So I think there's a lot of potential for breakage, or this thing will just fall apart. So it's a little disappointing that it seems to be so poorly made. Now this flipper wants to come off, but I think we can keep it on there. And we'll get him standing. There we go. And here is the woman. A little bit of details on the head there. I like the hair in the ponytail. Just a little painted detail on the body there. And not much on the arms. And here are the legs down to the feet. So nothing happening on the back there. So we can turn her head. The arms go around. And the legs kick forward and not really back. Forward and not back. So very simple action figures. So very useful for the playset, but the sharks are probably the main characters in the set. Here is the shark in the set. I don't think it's a great white shark. It seems too darkly colored on the top. But it could be meant to be a great white shark with just a different paint job. Let's see what the dimensions are. At the longest point, it's about 12 inches long, or about 30.5 centimeters long. At the highest point, maybe 5.5 inches tall, or about 14 centimeters tall. And at the widest point, it's about 4 3/4 inches wide, or maybe 12 centimeters wide. So it looks like a pretty nice shark. It's hard plastic, but it's hollow, and it doesn't feel very substantial. It's hard plastic all around, so no soft pliable plastic anywhere. And it looks like they just use different colored plastic for these flippers here, and the paint doesn't go and flow together, so it just stands out as looking a little weird there. Yeah, on this side we can see the holes on the side where they put the screws in to hold this thing together. And there's a lot of, well, let's there's an action feature here. We can just push down on this fin and that'll move the mouth. And if we look in the mouth, there's a lot of painted detail in there. I'm kind of surprised at how much painted detail they put in there. They painted the inside of the mouth. We cannot put our finger in very far. And they painted the teeth. So they put a lot of effort into this shark, which is kind of surprising. Usually these cheaper toys or play sets don't have a lot of effort put into them. But it seems like a little more than usual. That seems like a really nice shark. This is how big it is next to the diver. And looks like the diver can be lunch. Although it doesn't really stay in there, it kind of slides out pretty easily. So, pretty nice looking shark here. Here we have a collection of different kinds of sharks that came in this set. Looks like we got 6 different kinds, and they come in slightly different sizes. Now I don't know if they are in accurate size with each other, but let's take a look at this longest one here. This longest one is maybe 6.5 inches long and about 17 centimeters long. And the shortest one, I think this one is the shortest. It's about 2.25 inches long, or about 6.5 centimeters long. So the others are within that range. So that's a nice selection. This one is kind of interesting. I'm not sure what kind this one is, but it doesn't even have a fin on the top there. And it is a little bit pliable here, thin pliable plastic at the tail, and these flippers a little bit rubbery, but I can't really bend them, so this is just the softest part here. It's an interesting looking fish, probably some kind of shark. And the shortest one, that certainly looks like a hammerhead. I thought hammerheads would be larger than this, so maybe they really are kind of small sharks, but very interesting head there. And it is a pliable plastic. You know, the thin part bends, like the fins, the flippers, the tail. And here's looks like a normal looking shark, like a miniature great white maybe. So pliable plastic for the fins and flippers and tail. This one, I'm pretty sure this one is a tiger shark. It certainly looks like one. So very nice paint job on this one. And this one I think is a sawtooth of some kind. Now, I don't know if it's a kind of shark or not, but looks very interesting. Now this plastic is very thin and pliable, so that will bend a lot. And pliable plastic for the flippers and fin and tail. Kind of a flat fish. And I'm not sure what kind this is. I think we've seen this mold before. This one has an open mouth and a little bit hollow inside. So we can maybe push the jaw a little bit, but it's pliable plastic. Same thing with the flippers and the fin and the tail. So very nice selection of sharks, and this is how big they are compared to the diver. So it looks pretty nice. Now it would be nice if there's a way to display these. Maybe get some clear plastic stands to put these on to display them in the air like they're swimming. So that would be fun. So the diver is bigger than most of these, although in the water I'm sure Most of these would give him a lot of trouble. I don't know if most of these sharks go after people or not, but that's why they have a shark cage. So, very nice selection of sharks there. Here is the star of the set, the yellow submarine of the set. So it certainly looks very nice. Let's see how big this thing is. So at the longest point, it looks like it's about 14 inches long, or maybe 37 centimeters long. And at the highest point, it's about 7.5 inches tall, or 19 centimeters tall. And at the widest point, maybe about 5.5 inches wide, or 13 or 14 centimeters wide. So it certainly looks nice. It's kind of big, not very heavy, so it's mostly hollow, but we cannot get to any of the space inside here. We can only get into the front part, the cockpit. Here are the buttons for the sound effects, and a periscope, kind of a rubbery plastic here, and I think there's a different colored plastic, so a couple of different plastic pieces are put together, different colored plastic, black on the inside and yellow on the outside. A little bit of printing here. This part is a sticker on the back part here. There's some printing or manufacturing information there. And pretty much the same thing on this side. And we have a couple of little robot arms. So it's kind of like an action figure. So these move around. That goes all the way around. This goes all the way around. It has kind of an elbow joint there. It goes that far. The same thing on this side. Goes just that far. And then another joint here. And it goes that far. And that one can bend both ways. So these joints are tight at the moment, although with the maybe cheap quality plastic here, I think those will wear out eventually, and they won't be able to hold a pose. And then here is the cockpit. So nice glass bubble here. There's still a little bit of residue from the tape that held this together in the open package, so I still have to clean that off. And it just snaps open. So that opens up, and inside we have just a suggestion of some controls here, and just a large space for the figure to stand, and just a flat plastic piece to prevent people from getting to the inside. And my pilot, we just put her in there and she stands, so we can keep her in the submarine. Close it up, and she is piloting the submarine, but there's really nothing holding her in place, so she'll rattle around quite easily. But it looks nice. So, pretty nice looking submarine. So it snaps together, and a pretty simple hinge there. So I don't think this will stand up to some rough play. One other thing is this propeller here. That just spins around, but it's manual, so no action feature here, nothing that we can push to make it spin. So a little bit of a miss. It could have had a little button to push to make it spin. So it looks like a pretty nice submarine, just not much to do inside. Now we certainly don't want to put this underwater because we have the buttons here for the sound effects. That one's a bit long. So those are nice. Now this is how big it is compared to the figures. So nicely sized. And next to our shark. So the submarine is a little bigger than the shark, but this shark is very, very large, and I certainly wouldn't want to meet one of these in the ocean. So looks like a cool playset to play around with. And a bunch of other little sharks. So they're all pretty small compared to this submarine. So most of these probably wouldn't even be noticed. So they really are pretty small. So looks like a lot of fun can be had with something like this. The Hammerhead, I don't think, stands a chance against this submarine. And we could use the submarine to capture some of the sharks. So that's a little fun, adventurous play there. Well, it looks like I made a pretty embarrassing mistake. This thing is hollow, and it does actually open up. I didn't realize it, but this part does open up. And we have a lot of usable space. It's all empty, but we can put the diver in here. The diver fits in there, stands up, and the pilot fits in there. And we can even put some of these sharks in there, although I don't think we want to do that. Looks like they'll all fit in. And let's see, even this long one. Yes, the long one will fit in. So all of the sharks will actually fit in inside the submarine. So I'm pretty happy about that. It does have a lot of usable space. Here's the submarine set next to a 4-inch action figure. This one is an adventurer from an Animal Planet set I reviewed a while ago. Here's the submarine set next to a 4-inch action figure. This one is the Fortnite Jonesy action figure by Jazzwares. Here's the submarine set next to a 6-inch scale action figure, the Action Force Condor action figure by Valaverse. Here is the submarine set next to a 7-inch scale action figure, the Masters of the Universe Masterverse He-Man action figure by Mattel. So I think this submarine set is a fun little set. It has a lot to do. We have a couple of action figures and a submarine and a huge shark with an action feature. And I like the details they put on the other sharks. They did a lot of nice paint work on the other sharks to make them look pretty good. So all in all, it's a pretty nice set. Couple of problems. The submarine, I don't think, is really submersible because of the electronic features in it. Also no real seat in the submarine. What's also missing is there's a lot of space in the submarine that could have been used to create some sort of more play feature or diorama features. So that's too bad. And the quality of the figures, the diver figure, one of the legs, I don't think is very well put together. But that's just a problem across the entire production run because of the plastic and the engineering they put into it, which is not as much as some other products, but this was less expensive. I think altogether this set was about $40, so it's a lot of stuff for $40, but it's not the best quality stuff. But it is fun for different displays or dioramas. I certainly had fun putting this one together. So I'll see what other Shark Attack dioramas I can come up with. So thank you for watching my review video. Remember to like the video, leave a comment, tell me what you think of this submarine playset, and subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with my future reviews. I'll see you next time, action figure fans.